Hey everybody, it's your girl Toya Telly, and I'm back with another video. This is the review of Tyler Perry Sisters, Season 5, Episode 17. The title of the episode is Looks Are Deceiving. Alright, we're going to hop right into this episode where we left off on last week's episode, which I did not review simply because it just wasn't worth it. It was boring. Let's move on. So, Fatima put the phone up to Zach's face and asks, "What the is this?" So Zach was like, "What?" Like, Fatima said, "Are you looking at the picture?" Zach said, "I'm looking at it, but I don't know who took that picture." And Fatima said, "Why does that matter?" Zach said, "'Cause I didn't kiss her. That's why." And I'm wondering, when is he gonna ask, "How did you get this picture? Like, who took this picture? Who sent you this picture?" Like, instead of, "I don't know who took that picture." Who? What? I'm confused. Like, I get that you're confused, but I just feel like the dialogue should have made more sense right here. But anyways, Fatima said, "Well, it sure does look that way to me." So Zach was like, "Check out them angles. Look at that angle. I hugged her. I didn't kiss her." So Fatima was like, "Oh, you hugged her?" Zach said, "Well, I didn't hug her. No. She hugged me as I was walking out the door." And that's when he was like, "Shit. She did this on purpose so she can get somebody to send a picture of you." I'm like, "Zach, you full of yourself." And so Fatima, she was like, "Why would she do that?" Zach said, no, Fatima said, "No, she did. Zach, she didn't send this to me." And Zach said, "Well, how'd you get the picture? Who sent it to you then?" Fatima said, "Don't worry about that." I'm like, wait. I'm with Zach right here. How do you expect him not to worry about that when you coming in here confronting him about it? Like, if you gonna tell it, you need to tell it all, Fatima. I feel like you being slick, basically not being straightforward enough. You're not being straightforward enough about it. If you're gonna confront him about it, you need to really get to the bottom of it. You telling him, "Don't worry about that." What? Had you would have communicated better, none of this whole him barging to a steam plant to go get on Karen ass, none of that wouldn't even had to occur had you would have communicated with your man a lot better than what you did. As soon as he asked you the main question that I thought he was gonna ask from the start, like, why wasn't that the first question you asked? But anyway, as soon as he asked you, "Who sent you this?" "Oh, don't worry about it." What? How are we gonna get to the bottom of this if I'm not to worry about it? Like, what? I feel like you need to, be straight up about it. Tell him where you got the picture from, what went down, the same thing Angela told you. All that should have been said right then and there. Had that would have been said, he would not felt like Karen set him up and now he got to storm out. And the fact that Fatima listened to him say, "Oh, she did this on purpose. She set me up." She even replied to it and said, "No, she didn't. She didn't send this to me." But when he said that he going over, whether he got to leave, basically he's finna go confront Karen, she didn't once try to stop him and be like, "Look, Karen ain't got nothing to do with this for real. This is my homegirl and her homegirl." This right here was beyond Karen's knowledge. Instead of her saying that for real and like actually letting him know straight up what it was and what it is, she let him just go and storm out. And it's just like to me, you had the utmost time to tell him what it really was, but you kept saying, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Grabbing him on his arm and everything, just like, no, you're gonna listen to me. Like, what? You're not even saying nothing though. Like, to me, it was just, it was over the top, and it was bad communication. It was very, very horrible communication. So, Fatima told Zach, like, don't raise your voice at me. So Zach, he tried to leave. That's when she grabbed him by the arm, and so he had to finally put her in her place and tell her, like, look, the same way I had to respect you at the gym when you told me to let you go, I'm gonna need you to show me the same respect. So Fatima went on and let him go. And like I said, I just don't understand why she just wasn't straight up enough and told him exactly where she got the picture from. Especially knowing that, like, he's already thinking that Karen is behind the picture when she's really not. And Fatima knows that Karen is not behind this picture. Because Angela told her straight up that it was her friend in the shop that took the picture. I just wish that Fatima would have communicated that better to Zach. And I feel like it wouldn't even have to go that far. But moving along, Sabrina and Brumman, she called him over there because she's trying to ask him for the money to bund Maurice out of jail. Like, study begging and borrowing. Like, Sabrina, please stop. Please stop, because you already got folks in debt behind you. And now you over here asking Brumman for a $1.5 million favor to bund somebody out that he don't even know. And then when Sabrina explained to him, about what had went down with Maurice and Q, I feel like she did kind of say too much, because it really didn't take all that just to ask for a favor. But at the same time, Brumman, he told her that Maurice don't sound like a good person. Because he was like, is he a good person? And at first it really sounded like he said peasant. Because I was like, what? Is he calling Maurice a peasant? Because it really did sound like he said, is he a good peasant? But he was saying, is he a good person? And Sabrina said, yes, he is a good person. He just got caught up in a mistake. And Brumman said, well, you did say that this guy was dating another guy. So Sabrina was like, oh, okay, you're homophobic. I see. And Brumman said, oh, no, it's not that. It's just you said that the guy... Well, no. Brumman said, in my country where I'm from, those are bad people. So that's when Sabrina thought he was homophobic. And so he had to clear it up and say, no, you said that the guy he was dating robbed a bank. And if you're dating a guy that would do that, then you're not a good person. And honestly, I feel like Brumman caught on to the fact that he must have offended Sabrina with his homophobic ways or with his homophobic comment. And that's when he had to clear it up and say that, oh, no, that's not what I was saying. It's just that you said that the guy robbed the bank. So that makes him not a good person to be dating a guy that robs banks. When I don't believe that was really what Bruh Man was saying. I believe he was just trying to clear it up because he didn't want to offend Sabrina. Because he didn't say it like that at first. He clearly said, you said this guy was dating another guy. And in my country where I'm from, that's not a good person. That's what Bruh Man clearly said. And then when Sabrina said, oh, you homophobic, he had to try to switch it up then because he didn't want to offend her, which I don't know. He could have been, just leaving that part out. He probably didn't mean it like that. He probably did. I don't know. But that's just how I took it. But either way, Bruh Man said no, he cannot help because he don't know Maurice. And honestly, I don't blame him. Okay, like Sabrina, for one, ask yourself, would Maurice do all of this for you if it was you locked up and him that had got out? Like, would Maurice actually be trying to focus on fixing your problems, or will he be trying to focus on fixing his own? Ask yourself that question, because you have a lot of problems in front of you, baby girl, that you have not even taken care of. Like, you still gotta come up with your bun money. Like, don't forget, you do have to pay Andy back. Like, don't forget that this girl gave, and if she have not asked you to pay her back, because I'm not sure. But I feel like just out of courtesy, because she done told you that she gave you all of what she had, you need to be trying to make payments, baby girl. Okay, to clear out your debts instead of trying to bun Maurice out with all that you got, $87,000. You sitting on $87,000 and all you trying to give it all to Maurice to get him out of jail whenever you have not even paid your dues and your debts. Sabrina, you got a lot going on, and I feel like you really, really need to get it together and focus on Sabrina. Not saying just forget about Maurice, but I do feel like Maurice waddled himself into this mess, and he need to waddle himself out. That's all I'm saying. Now, Bruh Man told her that he can't help. He left, and on his way out, Calvin was popping in. So, Calvin, he got up in there and he told Sabrina that his daddy was willing to put up his house to bun Maurice out. He had $20,000. Finally, he finally considers on giving up the $20,000 for Maurice. Because I'm like, when is he gonna ever? I know he was considering bunning Sabrina out with the $20,000, but after that, he had never brought it back up. So I was like, okay, I don't know if, Kevin must have went and blew that money. But he still got it, and he offered to help Maurice with it, and as well as Sabrina's $87,000. And he talking about his daddy gonna put up his house, and Sabrina said they're not gonna take that. I'm like, well, logically, if his dad sell the house for cash, then they will take the cash. But it's not logical to even go through all of that just to bun Maurice out of jail. Like, come on now. Maurice didn't even care about himself enough to see the signs after Q had robbed him that Q was a bad person, that he shouldn't have been around. He still let that man come around and move him into his home. Matters a damn if it was Calvin's decision. Maurice had the full say-so on that, and he still let Q come in and run his game. I feel like should nobody else have to suffer the consequences because Maurice was out there being silly willy. Like, that's all I'm saying. So if it was me, I wouldn't be putting up all that I got just to bun Maurice out of jail. I'm just saying I wouldn't. Honestly, on Andy's behalf with Sabrina, I wouldn't even put up all I had for that. Even if that, like, I'm just saying, like, I understand that's her friend. I do. But at the same time, like, somebody else finna have to help me with this. I'm not finna give all that I got because I gotta live too and I gotta take care of me as well. You know, I got bills too. I got payments as well. I can't give up all that I have, go broke and in debt just to bund my friend out of jail. Especially whenever my friend, like, she don't even have the courage enough to speak up for herself and tell Maurice straight up, like, you ain't finna be talking to me like this. You finna put some respect on my name. I went down for you. I had nothing to do with that. I told you to stop fooling with this dude. And you kept prancing around with him. Like, I feel like Sabrina, she needs to woman up. Simple as that. Not saying that I wouldn't have helped bun my friend out of jail because I am. But I am going to say that I'm not going to give my all just to bun my friend out of jail. Especially whenever my friend needs to woman up. And she shouldn't have put herself in this position. Now, as I was saying, after where was I? Sabrina and Broman. No, Sabrina and Calvin now. So Calvin, they coming up with a plan. After that, now we see Andy and Robin. Robin is letting Andy know that he got the money and that they can't wait to see the look on Gary and Hayden's face whenever he make the announcement. Now, he also trying to shoot his shot while he ate it, asking Andy to meet him at the steam plant if she can. And so she went on and took him up on his offer. And after that, we seen Zach. He's barging to the salon looking for Karen. Fiery mad. Pam, she playing too much. He ain't trying to play. So he was like, call her right now. No, first he told her, he was like, somebody took a picture of me. Which one of y'all in here took a picture of me when I was in here yesterday when Karen hugged me? Which one of y'all took a picture of me? So Pam was like, ooh, that's messy. You know, Pam, she really dumbfounded about it because she don't know what's going on. But at the same time, you would have thought that she really knew what was going on the way she playing. So Zach, he really getting mad. He telling her to call Karen right now. And so she didn't do it. So Zach, he used the salon phone to call Karen. Now, I got a couple questions. First of all, why didn't Zach use his cell phone to call Karen? That was weird to me. Second of all, why didn't he address the situation over the phone to Karen? Because when he walked in the salon, he addressed the situation to Pam. You know, I feel like he could have easily addressed the situation to Karen as well, instead of just asking her, where you at? Okay, don't leave. Like, and now you come up in there and make a big commotion inside of a restaurant when we really could have talked about this over the phone. It ain't like you don't want Pam to hear what we talking about because you came in there and straight up told her what we talking about. Like, what you mad about. So, I don't get that part either. Third question is, why does Zach remembers Karen's number so vividly? Like, He quickly grabbed the phone, swiftly dialed the number. Bam. Like, I don't know. Just a thought. Anyways, so Zach said no, Pam, I mean, Karen first thought it was Pam. So she was like, what done went wrong now? Zach said, it's Zach, what you doing? I mean, where you at? Karen said, why are you calling from the salon? Zach said, I gotta talk to you. I don't understand why he didn't confront the situation, but instead he said, I gotta talk to you. And she said, well, I'm at Steam Plant, so what's up? And he said, don't leave. Hung up the phone. Storm out. So Pam put Karen up on game about the picture. Was like, he mad about a picture, saying somebody sent a picture of him or whatnot. So Karen, she like, I don't really know what's going on, but okay. Pam, she want Karen to entertain it. Karen not entertaining it. Karen say, look, I ain't been out in a while. This is my first night out in a long time, and I'm finna enjoy it, okay? I'm about to enjoy my fish plate, my man, a so-called man, soon-to-be man, whatever he gonna be, and I'm about to enjoy my nights. Goodbye. Now, after that, Karen had put Aaron up on game that Zach might show up. And so give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Where were we? Okay. So, Aaron was asking Karen, what this was about. Karen don't know. And Karen was like, really, it's none of my concern. Clearly. Now, now we see Danny, after her and Preston had their talk about the whole marriage situation. She don't want to marry him. She has made it clear numerous of times that she's not ready to get married to him. And honestly, he have made it easier for her to say no just by bringing up this whole Mindy girl and this whole Mindy situation. And honestly, Preston, you really sound like you really sound off, is what I'm gonna call it, whenever you say that you just want to get married because ain't nothing else out here. So you ready to get married today because ain't nothing else out here. But the girl that you ready to go get married to, you don't really like her like that. You don't like her like you like Danny. And you really don't want to marry no one unless it's Danny, is what it sounds like. But because Danny does not want to marry you, you would rather go marry somebody that you don't really like that. I just don't get it. To me, that sounds off. But now Danny, she's calling Andy after Preston left. She's calling Andy, and she's letting Andy know that Preston want to marry her, and she's not ready to get married. She's annoyed with the whole situation, and honestly, she just want to go lay up, have sex with somebody, and forget about the whole situation. So Andy was like, girl, I done told you about laying up with them strays. Don't you call another stray over there to your house. Because remember what happened the last time. And that's what I be saying. Like, Danny, grow up. Grow up. Get it together. Because you should still be traumatized from the last guy. And it's a shame that you're not. So I hope that she's not trying to insinuate the fact that she might text Q or call Q, you know, give him the Addy right quick so he can pull up. And next thing you know, he gonna be walking all her shit up out of her studio apartment while she sleep. That's on her though. So another thing I forgot to bring up, come to find out, Q got the keys to Maurice's car, and he been driving Maurice's car since he been locked up, sleeping in it and everything, parking it outside in the driveway. I'm like, Calvin, you mean to tell me all the times you stayed at home trying to guard Maurice's things so that Q would not steal them, you did not confiscate his keys? You mean to tell me he's still driving around in Maurice's car? So what was you even staying home to guard? Like, what were you guarding? His knives, spoons, forks? Like, what were you guarding? Because clearly you was not guarding his important things. Like, Q was able to get away with furniture, the microwave, his car. Like, you might as well should have just let Q throw a garage sale at this point. So, moving on to the review. Where we at now? Andy makes it over to the steam plant, and Robin walks over, and they head to the bar to get drinks. Now, Andy, she looks over and she spots out Karen, so she was like, give me a minute. She walked over there and she spoke to Karen and Aaron, and Karen gave her the papers, the child support papers. And she was like, I already signed them, but I'm still giving it to you to look over it. She was like, so you gonna sign them before I look over it? She was like, well, I mean, you can still look over it. Like, Karen, she's over it, honestly. And I feel like she really needs to slow down with being, I understand that you over it, but you might screw yourself out of a good deal because you just so tired to the point where you don't want to deal with it. And I understand how that is. I've been there. So I know. But the judge could probably, and I'm pretty sure, could definitely cut you a better deal than $3,000 a month, considering all the money that Zach made. So I just feel like you really need to do it the professional way. Do it the professional way, the legal way, and not the Zach's way, the Zach and Fatima's way. So, because you might screw yourself out of a better deal. That's all I'm saying. But I understand that you tired and you're ready to get it over with. So she done threw Andy the paper, and she called Andy to the side. She let Andy know that Zach's talking about coming to steam plant, and he mad about something. So she figured that Andy knew what Zach was mad about. Andy don't really know what Zach mad about. But she figured that Andy lying because she really don't know if Andy done already talked to Fatima. You know, they talk about anything else. Any other time, Andy know what Zach mad about. So honestly, I don't blame Karen for thinking that she know about it this time. Because Fatima called Andy anytime something is going on with Zach and Karen. But this time Andy didn't know, and she wasn't lying. So she went back over there to enjoy drinks with Robin, and Karen, she went back over with Aaron. Now, after that, we see Angela and Fatima. So Angela asking what happened, and Fatima was like, girl, he left pissed off, going to go confront Karen. And Angela said, you think that's a good idea? Fatima said no. Angela said, I should have never sent you the picture. I'm like, why not? Ain't that your best friend? You supposed to put her up on game about that. But Angela said, so did he even confess to kissing her? Fatima said, he said it was just a hug. That's it. Then Fatima started bringing up all her past experiences. Like she the only one that done been through it. But Angela said, you said Zach is different. So let's just wait and see what he says. Angela, she just told you what he said. He said that it wasn't a kiss. It was just a hug. Like, and that's when Fatima said, Angela said at the first, Fatima said, you already know how I am, such and such. And Angela said, well, yeah, at the first sign of trouble, you run. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, then she should have ran from your ass. Because you've been stirring up trouble ever since we found out that you work upstairs at the law firm. Then Fatima got the nerve to talk about, yeah, because you know I don't like drama. Fatima, you and your whole gangster family live for drama. Anyways, so that's when Fatima want to kind of sideways tell her, like halfway tell her what's going on for real. And she was like, you know he wouldn't even tell me the whole story. Fatima, you wouldn't even tell him the whole story. When he asked you who sent you that picture, you said don't worry about it. But now you want all the information. But you won't even give all your information. Like, let's get on point with the communication. And so, where we at now? After Fatima said that he wouldn't tell her the whole story, that's when Angela, she was like, she was like, he thinks that Karen set him up. Then he got the nerve to barge out of here. So Angela, she asked, wait. Okay, yeah, then Angela asked, did you tell him that ain't what happened? After Fatima said that he feel like Karen set him up, Angela was like, well, did you tell him that ain't really what that is? Like, basically, did you tell him that my homegirl is really the fingers behind all of this, not Karen? And so Fatima said, yes, I did. The lies, Fatima. The lies. You did not. You did not tell him. You said do not worry about it. You said don't worry about it. With an attitude. You did not tell him exactly where you really got that picture from. So, now, Fatima, she ain't trying to talk about it no more. She on her way to steam plant. And Angela, she seems like to me, she's enjoying every minute of this eruption. Like, she is enjoying every minute. Okay? Now, Maurice calls Calvin. And he hollering and screaming on the other line, still coming at folks sideways, like, as if they owe him a favor. You know, as if it's mandatory that they bail him out of jail. Like, come on now. I thought Andy checked you last week. And I don't understand why Sabrina won't go and check him this week. Like, she's still, well, we're trying the best that we can. Well, I'm trying to come up with money. I asked Bio. Maurice said, okay, what did he say? Sabrina said, he said no. Maurice said, well, why the hell you brought it up then? Shit, I'm thinking the same thing. So now Sabrina really thinking that Maurice gonna turn his back on her and he's gonna testify against her because she's not moving fast enough to bail him out. Now, when Calvin was on his way, before Calvin left, Danny, she knocks at the door, which was a pleasant surprise, considering that none of these girls knock at each other's doors. They just barge into each other's homes. But Danny, she made it in there and they sitting down sipping wine, smoking, and talking about the fact that Sabrina can't come up with the money to bun out Maurice. Now, after that, here comes Zach. He done made it to the steam plant. Zach said, "Excuse me, I just got one question." He stepped up to Karen. "Excuse me, I just got one question. I don't like you playing games, Karen." I'm thinking in my head, "Excuse me, Zach. That is not a question." But carry on. So, Karen said, "What?" Zach said, I don't, Karen." Karen said, no, by this time, Aaron said, "Zach, hold on, man." Zach replied to Aaron and said, "Don't say nothing to me. I ain't talking to you." And then Zach turned back to Karen and he said, "Did you have somebody take a picture of me yesterday?" Karen said, "What are you talking about?" Zach said, very aggressively. Zach yells, "Did you have somebody take a picture of me hugging you yesterday? Is that why you were so nice to me? Huh?" Like, clearly acting like he's ready to jump over the table on Karen. Like, dude, why are you booked up at this woman like that? Calm down. Like, I honestly don't like the fact that you're giving off this "I will beat up ass" energy. Like, why are you giving this energy, Zach? I don't like it at all. And so after that, Karen said, "Excuse me, Zach? What are you talking about?" Like, she asked him once again, "What are you talking about?" She's clearly confused. And he rolling up on her, basically wanting her to answer a question right then and there whenever she's confused. She's in public. She's embarrassed. She's on a date. Like, what is going on? Honestly, Zach could have communicated a whole lot better with Karen when he bust up in that steam plant like that. He could have communicated a whole lot better than what he did. Like, rolling up on, "You know I want to play games, Karen. You know I want to play games." Like, punching the table. Like, come on now. How does anybody expect her to just take it easy with him when he's not taking it easy with her? He rolling up on her like he's ready to punch her in the face. And she just supposed to, "No, I did not take a picture of you. No. She's clearly telling him, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, for one, you're not even talking. You're yelling. Let's get that part straight, so we can both get to the bottom of this. The communication was just so out of whack. The same way it was over there with him and Fatima. So, Karen, she trying to get herself together. And she's like, "What is you talking about, Zach?" Aaron, he in the background talking about, "Zach, relax." And Zach said, "I'm not talking to you. Don't do this, dude." And so Aaron was like, "Don't do this, Zach." Zach was like, "Don't do what? What you gonna do?" And then, so Aaron said, "You know what, Karen, let's go. Let's go." So Karen, she trying to get up. She like, "Yeah, let's go on and go." Because everything in it got blew out of proportion at this point. And so Zach, he must have grabbed Karen by the shoulder and like pushed her back down in her seat and told her she's not going nowhere. "No, you're not going nowhere." And I'm like, why not? Like, you gonna force this girl to just know what you talking about when she don't know what you talking about? Like, clearly that's answering your question. That's telling you, "No, I did not take a picture of you because I don't know what you're talking about." I mean, maybe she should have worded it that way. I wish that she would have, but I don't. Then again, I don't. Because either way, I don't know what you're talking about. That is answering your question. Now, um, after that, that's when Zach and Aaron they start scrambling around the floor. It was a lot. It was a wrestling match at that point. Like, y'all, by the time he grabbed Karen's shoulder, Aaron, he wasn't going for it no more at that point. Zach was study saying, answer the question, Karen. Answer the question. And I don't understand why he was study saying answering the question like that whenever she was answering the question. She said clearly, I don't know what you're talking about. That answers your question. That this cannot be her behind this picture. But Zach thought that she was playing games. As always, whenever Karen not even studying about him no more. Karen on her date and trying to move on. And me, myself, I'm proud of her. Now, after they tussle it out, it looked like on the next episode, Fatima and Andy both is going to be barging. I mean, not Andy, Angela. Both is going to be barging into the steam plant. And Andy, she already there. So, she already on the scene. And y'all, I don't know. All I know is it looked like Andy and Karen, their loyalty is not gonna be the same going forward, because Andy, she has already shown unloyal traits dealing with Karen, which is supposed to be her best friend. You know, it looks like to me that she is siding with Fatima against Karen, telling Fatima, don't let Karen come in between you and Zach. How can Karen come in between her and Zach? Only Zach and Fatima can come in between Zach and Fatima. And Andy, you should know that Karen is not trying to come in between Zach and Fatima. Not anymore. You should know that she is trying to move forward now. She have made that clear. Y'all have seen it for yourselves. And I'm speaking on the sisters. Like, they have seen Karen beg for Zach back, and they have seen her shake him off after that. So I don't understand why Andy is still trying to make it seem like Karen is trying to come in between Zach and Fatima. Maybe she believes that Karen is behind the picture. Maybe Andy feel like Karen is just that petty, considering that she have begged for Zach back before, in which I hate she did that. I really did. I even said in my reviews back then, when she was doing all that begging, crying and begging, I even said that Karen needs to stop, because I go up for Karen, but I can't continue to do that if she's going to continue to let me down. These days, she have not been letting me down. I've been proud of her, and I've been proud of her growth and the fact that she is moving forward, and she is not being a stupid, just a fool for a guy, basically. A fool for the illusion of what it could have been. You know, although I do feel like that was just a part of her process, and I still feel that way. But anyway, y'all, I know this review was a little bit too long. I just had to dissect that whole episode. I had to dissect it slowly. Simply because I missed out on last week, and not just because of that, but because also I really want to point out the lack of communication between Zach and Fatima, as well as Zach and Karen. And I also want to point out the shucks, I done forgot that fast, y'all. The aggression and that nobody wants to call out, but yet still these same viewers will be quick to call out Karen's aggression. And the way Zach was yelling, basically not even giving Karen a moment to talk, to even answer the question that he's asking her to answer. Although she's answering it by saying, I don't know what you're talking about. But he studied bullying her out of a yes or a no. I feel like that was highly, highly aggressive of him to behave that way. No one called it out. Everybody else wants to call out. Well, no, I'm not going to say everybody else. I'm going to say also certain viewers wants to call out Karen and her, basically her, the word I'm looking for, I would say childish behavior. But no one wants to call out Fatima and her childish behavior. Because when Zach asked her where she got that picture from, and she said, don't worry about it. To me, that's very much childish behavior. Because if we're going to get to the bottom of something, as adults, we need to get to the bottom of it. The whole thing. Because that would have prevented a whole lot of this drama that went on this week's episode. But anyways, y'all, that was my review, and I'll be back with another video. Until then, thank y'all for watching. This is your girl, Toya Taylor. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do so. And also, hit that notification bell button so you know when I come through with more videos. Until next time, I hope y'all have a great night. Peace.